matter. I could be the best battle rapper in Kansas City, and they're still gonna charge me $10 to get into the club. You know what I mean?
I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want.
What's up, y'all? I'm your boy Snow from the What They Want podcast. Y'all like these t-shirts? We got some new merch in. We got this. We got mugs. We got tote bags. Make sure y'all tap in. If you're liking the episodes, comment, share, subscribe. But hey, make sure you tap in, SlaboArts.com. All right, guys. Welcome back to the What They Want podcast. I'm your boy Snow, dannySLAB right here.
Yo.
And we're back at it again with a very, very talented artist from KC, technically. Battle rapper, Christian rapper, all around, very talented person, A.Ward.
Man, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me for real.
Hey, thanks for coming through.
No doubt, man.
For sure.
Thank you for playing.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good time, man. I've been checking out y'all's stuff on Instagram and everything. You've had some of my friends here sitting down, great talks, man. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I could come and link with y'all.
Well, that's
Appreciate
good.
that again.
Yeah, that's true. We have had a few people that have said your name, so yeah, some of your homies have definitely been down here.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
It's always good to be spoken about highly. So
Yeah, for sure. So first, I want to ask you, beyond anything and everything, how have you been?
Oh, good question. Tired? Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, but when you're cooking, they're booking. That's what they say. And so it's like, I've been blessed to be booked, already, I think about 18 times this year. So I'm almost,
Nice.
two events a month. So traveling the world, seeing things, having fun, making money. So like I said, just prioritizing health, family, and all that in the midst of going around rapping and writing and all that kind of stuff is tough, especially when you're getting up in age like me. So that's why I say tired, but I also say blessed, man. So those two words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, that's good, man. I got to ask you this, man. How did you get into the battle rap scene?
Yeah, it's, growing up, my older brother was the rapper. I idolized him. My dad wasn't around for like the first 12 years of my life. And my older brother was hip-hop artist, put out albums, like just super, super talented. And this is in East Tennessee where I grew up before I started my music career, moved to Kansas City. He put me on to just battle rap, smack DVDs, different things like that, like early 2000s. And I just became a fan of battle rap, watching it. I'm like, oh, this is really dope because I always like punchlines, delivery. I always just like the wittiness of attacking opponents and stuff like that. And once I moved to Kansas City, became an artist in Kansas City, and started rapping, my style always kind of reflected it, even when I wrote music. It was heavy punchlines, heavy wittiness, heavy, stuff that you would hear in a battle rap, not per se like a song, Okay. And so I was a fan, watching it. But I was also like a Christian rapper, so I didn't know, like, how does that work? You can't go be a battle rapper as like a Christian rapper, like, I didn't really understand it. I just was like, I'll just be a fan of it, until a couple of my other friends that are Christian rappers kind of broke into battle rap, and I saw how they navigated through it and competed, and I was like, oh, this is really dope. And so, in 2015, I had my first battle ever down in Westport. Shout out to the Connects. Shout out to Jarvis, Art, Chapo. They put me on there at the Loop stores, a clothing store that they used to have.
Yeah, the good old Loop.
Yep, and we did that. The first battle was almost 10 years ago, so it'll be 10 years in September, and the rest is kind of history.
So I gotta ask you this, man. Was your first battle rap thing at a JL concert?
So I did. So I seen his Instagram post the other day about that, And so I known JL for a while. Used to rap in a group with one of his other good friends back in like 2010. And I remember I did do an event at Riot Room during like a JL, like JL was performing, And I don't think that was the first one ever. I think that was actually the third. But, it was definitely at the beginning of my career, And shout out to JL because that's my guy. And he's always been super, super supportive.
Oh, yeah.
Man, like man, from the jump, just the talent and everything like that. Him and Dutch, man. Dutch Newman is a guy that like I've known for years and years and years, man. And those are guys that, I wasn't making hot music and doing all kinds of stuff, but they would when I seen them out and about, they would always be like, "Yo, that dude's got bars" or whatever. And this is before I ever kind of blew up as a battle rapper. You know what I mean?
True.
And it's like those guys like recognized talent early on, and would always support me and encourage me. And then, when everything came to fruition and now I'm at where I'm at, like they still do, and I really appreciate it.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because JL is like one of the dopest out of the city for sure.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to the rhyme schemes. And I'm not even, even if you see the paintings and whatnot that he does.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Incredible artist. So many of his paintings.
Incredible artist, man.
He is so dope.
What can't that guy do, man? He's super talented.
Shout out to JL for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's dope that, it kind of started, the third show.
Yeah.
But the first was like at the Loop, which is now damn near.
Yeah.
That's vintage.
Yep.
Because I haven't heard the Loop in so long.
Yeah, man. We had a few good battles there, yeah, this is one of those things when you go back and look on camera, you're just like, oh, that's a dope spot. Even the Riot Room had a few battles there. Now it's Tin Roof. But it's like, there's some. I had at the mini bar. There's just a lot of different places, Record Bar. That looking back, you're like, oh, that's kind of dope. Like those are KC venues that we've all been to, seen somebody rap at.
Multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. And to kind of just be a part of that for Kansas City battle rap history, which had a decent battle rap history before I got here with a few different artists, is just cool to be a part of.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this because you sat there and said your brother got you into it. What was your brother's rapper's name?
So my brother's first rap name was Menace, but this is back in Tennessee. Then he just started going by his last name because he's technically my half brother, but he's one of those half brothers that I've never called a half brother in my entire life.
Right.
So his last name's Cannon, so he always just went by Cannon. He's got a few battles too. He battled at the Loop as well. He still lives in East Tennessee. But yeah, so he was literally like you couldn't tell me nothing. Like he was the guy that I go to high school and rap his lyrics to my other friends, battling. You know what I mean? Like before I'm writing like battle bars and stuff like that, I'm in there cooking using his material. You know what I mean? and like he just was so talented. And being from East Tennessee, not a lot of lyricists out there, and he was like East Coast, like dope written lyrics, stuff like that. Out there kind of in the South, the music kind of a little bit different, so he could have stood out.
For
so
sure.
yeah. But his name's Cannon.
Cannon, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still making music?
He's not right now, but I'm trying to get him back on it, man. I'll tell you this much. He's right now though, he's got a super fire Instagram page. He collects like Marvel Legends and action figures. He's a huge comic book. He collects a lot of comic books. It's super fire. And he does like, videos and stuff like that. And honestly, he's one of the like greatest hip hop minds I've ever he knows everything that you could ask about him. Like I'll go do shows and I'll rub shoulders with people and I'm like this guy and he's like, yo, you don't know who that is? Like, you know what I mean? And he
does that to me all the time.
He'll run down their list. I mean, honestly, I felt so bad. I shouldn't feel as bad. I knew who LP was with Rum and Jules, right? But I just didn't know where he came from, And then my brother's just like going down the whole list. Oh, he used to be with this. He used to use
and
this.
all that, right?
He used to do, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he was at the Lil Flip concert with me. He had came up to Kansas City that week.
Oh, that was with him with you?
Yep. And so,
Damn.
Yep. So that was my older brother. Yeah. So he's the one that like literally put me under his wing, taught me everything I know. But yeah, not only does he a collector for comics and like action figures, but he's just a hip hop mind. I keep trying to get him back in the booth, but he's just grown up to a point to where he's like, some people this happens. What I did when I was immature, it doesn't bring me joy anymore because that was a season of my life that I don't necessarily want to remember.
Right.
He liked rapping, but he wasn't living a life. He'll tell you like he was making all the mistakes. He was the plug. He was running around doing things that he regrets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now as he's like, working a job, paying bills and, got a lot more peace of mind, he's been sober for 7 years. Like rap,
that's good.
Rap,
that's good.
He doesn't want to get back in that mind state of what he was doing at that time. So he might ease back into it. I keep telling him he can still rap, he can still write. I know he can, but yeah. So that's my dog.
Like you said, you had to make your way into the battle scene. It's like you have to make,
Yeah.
If he feels it,
and his passion right now might just be comics and getting them graded and action figures and doing different things like that, and that's dope too.
So speaking about him getting back in the booth. Do you get back in the booth?
I do features. I musically, like, man, I'm battling so much. I can't stay in both modes at the same time. I can't stay like in album mode and battle rap mode and jump back in between them. You know what I mean?
It's a different
And so,
art, really.
yeah, so I always just say, because I battle so much, I battle probably 12 to 15 times a year. Like, it's hard for me to take the time off and just say, nah, I'm gonna work on a project, you know? And because the battle rap, it's really like a industry about like how hot can you stay? Like that's when they're booking,
Facts.
you know?
Right,
Like
you're right,
if I stop battling for 8 months or whatever, like I'm still A.Ward. I've done enough to where I'm gonna get booked. But the next
They
young
forgot
dude,
about you,
the next young dude can be up here going crazy or whatever,
going
and
off,
I can be
yeah.
sitting there like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have took the time off, you know? So
let me get him.
yeah, I definitely still take time, do features, you know, go, you know, record stuff or whatever. You know, as I can just, you know, grab something, listen to some music and write. But as far as like album mode, like I haven't done an album in a long time. I think I haven't worked on an album since 2014.
Dang, that's a long time, man.
And that's basically right when I started battling because it just took off with the battling. So
I get it. Okay. So you mainly do Christian rap?
yeah, I mean, I guess you could call it that.
Or
I've always
Christian,
said like you know, I'm a Christian rapper. I'm not ever gonna be ashamed of saying I'm a Christian and a rapper.
For sure.
But at the same time, like, you know, the tracks that we do, you know, don't like I'm just gonna go in there and be myself. I'm not saying, hey, if I'm gonna be on your song, you have to be rapping about Jesus or rapping about God or
you
whatever.
you just
I'm
seem
just
to
saying,
bring a
hey,
little faith into it.
And for the
that's
most part,
yeah.
most people know me now to where, you know, Abnorm's not hitting me up, you know, like, yo, Ward, I got this Tip Drill remix song that we about to have a strip club going crazy on. I need you to come over here, lay a verse, you know what I mean? It's like, that's not going to happen. Most people know me, you know, but somebody might hit me up and we might be on some like, you know, I know Shadow, if y'all know Shadow, you know, he had hit me up. He hit me up over a decade ago, I think. It might have been, this is before I started battling or right after, and we did the Capital Punishment Cypher. And we was just on there spazzing, you know, with me, Shadow, you know, Key the Heater. There's a lot of guys on that track.
Hey,
you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm always down when people hit me up. Like, let's rap. I love bars. I love punchlines and stuff like that. And then I think, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, if I was to work on an album, it might be categorized in a genre of Christian rap, but it wouldn't, I mean, it would still be like to the listener's ears, you know, like it wouldn't be like super, super theological, like, you know,
for sure, yeah.
It wouldn't be like Vacation Bible School soundtrack, you know? So.
That's funny you said it because like I would love to hear you and Abnorm and y'all do a song called Rap is Dusty.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, rap game Dusty.
I love that segment when he said that, man. There was no truer words have been spoke. No truer words have been spoken.
That stuff's, man, going crazy.
We were just talking
now.
a little earlier about just the chaos of what's happening in Kansas City last night and different things like that. And it's just like, bro, like the things that are glorified and the things people rap about and the things people like now become cool for doing is just super lame. You know what I mean? And I love when Abnorm was talking about it, he's like, I rap to be cool, you know? I forget who's the interview I saw on Instagram the other day, and he was just talking about like those diss tracks and stuff like that. He's like, nah, man, like I rap because I'm smooth and I like to rap. It's about that. He's like, I ain't got to get on this microphone and I shoot you in the face. He's like, nah, when I walk in, I just want to, you know, just rap, you know.
I'm talking my shit.
Yeah. So I love that segment when Abnorm was talking about like the dustiness of rap because it's there.
I would love. That's what I'm saying. Like if y'all could, that like just alone when he sat there and said that. But the thing is, rap is dusty, and what he was saying, I was like, dang, that does make sense. And the thing is, you just sat there and said, with you being not so much of a Christian rapper, but like y'all, you and Abnorm really could get on there and really talk about the rap game being dusty.
Exactly, and that has a meaning behind it, you know, and whether it's
from two different sides,
you know what I mean?
Almost,
yeah, it's almost like, yo, like, you know, the way I live my life is like love God, love people, you know what I mean? Like that's two things that I'm like, yo, and I live my life like here to impact and not impress. You know what I mean? And I think when he's talking about rap is dusty, he's like, everybody's doing stupid things to try to impress people, and nobody's going and showing off their talent to impact the culture to build better rappers. You know what I mean? And so, like, it would be such a fire, you know, back and forth, you know?
Dude. I love that. I love it because that's what we were saying, like, on a few of our episodes, too, with a lot of the guests that we've had. You know, people aren't making the concept albums no more. They don't have an attention span past 8 songs.
Oh my God, 8 bars, damn near.
I
mean, new song is like a minute 41. I'm like, how many skits are on this EP?
Or 115.
I'm looking at I'm like,
right. There's a hook and the verse, and that's it.
And it's it. It's it. So
hey, what's that song Eminem made? The syllables. He's like, it needs a fire hook and a fire beat and a fire hook. But yeah, I mean that's true though, man. So like, even with Abnorm, you know, like with what he does, and even like with his episode and stuff like that, he was talking about how he went against Shadow, about being one of the hardest challengers. I want to ask you this: who is your hardest challenger? You're probably gonna be like the next person you got coming up. But you know,
I mean, I've had very difficult opponents. You know, one of the crazy things about my resume is that, let me see, if I think about it, I think I've battled one person from Kansas City. So, you know, a lot of guys in Kansas City, right? They battled here against each other. You know,
they knew about each other.
Boom, in the circles. Right. You know, I remember Abnorm battling Marty Notes. You know, he battled Shadow. He's going back and forth. Then you got, you know, King Versus and Young Tone and Casey Tagged Up and some of these other guys that are battling each other. They're in the circuits. TA Rail, right? I come onto the scene. I battle a guy from Wichita, right? It pops off real crazy, views and everything like that. My next opponent was a guy from St. Louis. It pops off real crazy. At that point, like, I've established myself and my talent, and this is no disrespect to the circuit because they worked hard, as that guy that comes into boxing and is just knocking folks out. And it's like, all right, you know, go ahead and you're up the ranks.
Love them up,
like, all right, it's time. You know what I mean?
Lightweight to
exactly. So it's like I come in 3 battles in, and they're just like, all right, we got to bring in some of the heavy artillery. So, you know, we bring in a guy from Omaha, Nebraska named St. Mike, who's insanely fire on tracks too. He comes in, we have a crazy battle. So I didn't spend a lot of time in this circuit of battling Kansas City guys. Right. You know what I mean? So we talk about like the hardest guys to prepare for, like in battle rap, period. You know, and there's been a lot of them. There's been a whole lot of them. Excuse me, JC that I just battled comes to mind. JC that comes to mind. Okay. There's a guy named Carter Deems, and Carter Deems is he's a dorky, laid-back, nerdy comedian white guy. You know what I mean? And he's been on Wild 'N Out before. He did a season on Wild 'N Out, but he's just very like puns and just whatever. But one of the hardest things about battling him is that if I'm too aggressive, I don't look cool, because who's barking on the guy?
Right,
don't care. And if I'm too laid back, he does that better than me, you know? Like,
right,
you know what I mean? Because that's his style. So now I have to find a way to attack you in certain styles, you know what I mean? And he was one of the toughest people I ever battled, you know, I ever wrote for, you know? And so, yeah, so the guys like that, those are tough, really tough matches, you know? But to this date so far, like my biggest grudge match has been A.Ward. A.Ward is from St. Louis. He's highly regarded as one of like the Mount Rushmore of battle rap. And we had like a grudge match. We had like one of those ones where it was a year, the promo back and forth, him trolling me, going crazy on the promo, I'm going back and forth, and it was like a highly anticipated battle. And yeah, that's the biggest one. But the tough ones, man, are like JC, who's got a crazy pen, or Carter, who's just hard to attack.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who his name was off top, but like this dude was wearing a Chick-fil-A outfit.
Oh, Anderson Burris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he was attacking the dude, and he's like, "Here, man." He's like, "My pleasure."
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And that's how it is. That's how battle rap is. I mean, it's similar. You know, I don't say WWE. There's characters. You know, like you got Mark Henry, the big bully, you know, dude, whatever, with the long dreads that's just in your face. He might not be lyrical, but the way he's, you know, barking on you, it just looks crazy. Then you got, you know, like Anderson Burris, the witty, dorky white guy that like finds ways to like just hilariously attack you, you know, so there's so many different styles, and they all make fights. And some people feel more comfortable battling certain styles. Like some guys are like, I'm not gonna go battle a dorky white guy. Like, you know, people are just gonna laugh at him making fun of me, and I don't want that. I'm gonna go battle, you know, this guy or whatever. And some, you know, some guys, white guys, are like, yeah, I'm gonna stick over here in Canada where the crowd looks like me, and I can relate to them. You know what I mean? And instead of going over here, you know, and trying to win over, you know, so there's definitely all kinds of different types and styles of people. But Anderson Burris is he's very talented, and he is like the one to look at when it comes to how to market your talent on social media. Okay. Because the fact that you saw it, like he's got hundreds of thousands of followers, probably millions on TikTok. His views do crazy, and he's not even regarded as one of the best battle rappers in the world. You know what I mean? He wouldn't be like probably top 100. You know? Oh, wow. But if you looked at his view count and his followers and everything, he's probably number one right now. So, yeah, you can always find ways to market yourself, brand yourself accordingly, and get mentioned places that you might not have before because you're in the algorithms, you know?
That's dope. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what happened with Roy Fresco, a rapper from here. Like, one day he uploaded his song to SoundCloud, and like right after Kanye dropped that No More Parties with LA with Kendrick, literally like the next song was his.
Oh wow.
So like it just, I don't know how. I mean, that was before like real algorithms came into play.
Yeah.
That stuff was going crazy, and then he got this deal.
Yep.
He was out of here.
Yep.
But it's crazy that you say that, especially with marketing and stuff like that as a battle rap. How have you seen the development? I mean, dude, you started in like 2014 is when you kind of started.
Yeah,
battle rap
I started like writing, but I didn't have my first battle until 2015. But yeah,
2015, right? So between 15 and 25, as of right now, I mean, dude, you just sat there and said you've been booked about 18 times this whole year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I think you sat there and said that you spend more time on a plane than you do on the ground.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So the evolution from 2014 to 25, like, how do you deal with that?
Mm-hmm.
And like, how do you, like you just sat there and said, the marketing side of things? Because social media has changed every outlet, from music, battle rap, to you just being an influencer at this point.
Absolutely.
You have to be different. Your image has to always be.
Yeah. So it's kind of tough for me because, like I mentioned earlier, like I'm unashamed of being a Christian, right? I don't, but I'm also a very talented rapper, writer. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I never wanted to get to a point to where people are only watching me because I'm Christian. Same thing with being white. I never wanted to go out there. I played basketball in college. I rap. I never want somebody to be like, he's only nice because that's the white boy. The white boy dunking.
He shows out.
The white boy does a windmill, and all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, and that's normal to it. You know what I mean? And I always wanted to earn people's respect with my talent. So I could have came in and been like, white Christian battle rapper, and those are all clickbait things that I could have just took and ran with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just been, like, hey, click on me, white Christian versus atheist, and just tried to find, but I never wanted that to be the primary focus. I wanted the love of writing and hip hop and stuff for people to like see me and be like, yo, I don't care who you are. That dude's right there is fire. You know what I mean? And so, when I started battling, I was 29, so I'm about to be 40 this year. And I told myself, I was like, yo, I don't got time for another free hobby. Like I was like, I like this stuff.
Man, facts.
I like this stuff, but like I'm paying bills. I'm trying to get a family together, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, if I'm not getting paid or doing really well by like the first 6 or 8 months, I was like, then cool. It was a bucket list thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so luckily, like I said, I was good enough, and I was able to rise up in battle rap to the point to where starting in 2016, like I was getting paid for every battle, and I was making enough money to make it make sense. And then, really, for me, the last 9 years of like literally, like I said, every other weekend flying and battling and traveling or doing poetry, whatever it may be, has just been like a chip on my shoulder. Like I still keep a chip on my shoulder of like, yo, like I want to be the best. I want to be better than my last battle. I want to write something new that's super crazy, and I just really still love what I do, And, like I said, I hooped in high school, hooped in college or whatever, and that adrenaline, like post-college, a lot of athletes, they just wish they could go back and play baseball, this weekend. It's like, yo, dog, like you don't realize I just want to walk to the plate one more time. I just want to be able to be here to start lineups one more time, whatever it is. You get older, you can't really do that. You can go jump in city leagues. You can go drink some beer and play softball, but it doesn't replicate that. No. Like I'm blessed right now because the adrenaline of the competition that I get like every month from battle rap is like that dopamine hit of like, yo, I'm an athlete. Obviously, I'm not an athlete, but I'm with words, so that to me is just super, super fire. So, juggling and branding of myself being, hey, I'm a battle rapper. Sometimes like, oh, battle rappers that can't make music, or oh, I'm a Christian. He's a Christian. He probably doesn't. I don't know. At the end of the day, I always say, all of those things you can look at, but when you're dope, people rock with you.
Right.
And it's a lot. Right. It makes a life a lot easier for me because I'm dope.
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what you said with the whole dopamine of like battle rap and stuff like that. I mean, honestly, dude, that's kind of how I am with the podcast now. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, dude, it's like, all right, man, I'm interviewing like A.Ward, or like I got Abnorm, or next week and stuff like that. We're hitting with some certain people, and it's like, damn, dude, like I get to interview these dope like individuals that I'm not even just like a fan of. Now I get to sit down and actually figure out their life stories on like what they've went through. So and it gives you like
purpose and passion during the week. You're looking forward to it. Right. It's a good feeling. It's like, yo, this is dope. Like this is, like I said, this is something I don't mind doing until, you know, we get to a point, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't mind. This is not a waste of time, you know? This is like something that's therapy or whatever it may be, you know what I mean? And it's like, like having that as a part of something and like being able to get paid to travel and still do it, like is, and then, man, just the, like, I meet and see so many people, like, just from my childhood, you know, like, you know, when I battled Vixen, Remy Ma booked me. Yo, shout out to Remy Ma. She actually
time out. Hold on.
Check this out. Remy Ma actually bought me these pants, these purple jeans. I don't never have anything cool, right? So Remy Ma books me, right? So she books me to battle on her league out there in the Sony Music Hall, and I get there, and you know, she's like, "Oh, I got something for you." I was like, "Cool." She brings me a bag of clothes, and she was just like, "It's like a Nike jacket, purple jeans, Air Maxes, everything." She was like, you know, she was like,
you keep wearing white tees.
Yeah,
like, right.
she was just like,
you need to dress
you know, she was just like, she didn't want me to look like a defensive coordinator how I normally look when I'm out there battling. But yeah, and so no, she's just super cool, like super cool, legit. Like, you know, she saw me, she's a fan. I come out there, and so I say that to say, like, you know, like being in the level and being able to rap in the circles that I'm able to now, you know, and being at events and you know, we talked earlier about I was talking about Run the Jewels, you know, the DJ, he's oh my God, track star. He's a super big, you know, big fan. We're real cool. So when I went to Tulsa, you know, he brought me backstage. We kicked it or whatever like that. Like, it's just really cool to be able to not only meet those people, but I'm providing a service to them as to what athletes provide to me when I go sit down and watch football on Sunday.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Like, people always talk about athletes get paid too much. No, I need y'all on Sundays so that I can have sanity. Right. Give them all the money because I want like, that's what I love to do in my spare time is watch sports. And then rappers and you know, celebrities and actors and different people that play sports and stuff like that, they go sit down and they watch battle rap, you know? And so for me to be able to kind of, you know, provide that for people that like I grew up listening to, it's been super dope.
I mean, yeah, dude, like that's like when we went and saw Lil Flip at Juke House.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He ran right up to you and he's rapping at you, and I'm like,
yep.
What the fuck is going on here? but then he's like, yo, shout out to A.Ward. I was like, oh shit, that's a battle rapper.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then, you know, like we had Abnorm on here, you know, and he was like, we asked him about who we want to bring on, and I'm not trying to butcher the first guy's name. Something shy guy, the wise guy. I'm sorry, Abnorm, don't kill me. But regardless, he goes, or who you should really get is A.Ward, and he goes, but he's always really busy.
Shout out to my guy, man. I love him with the prefacing that, man, so it don't make me look crazy. You know, if I'm like, hey, man, sorry I didn't get back to you. You know,
said it exactly
he helped me down, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I was like, A.Ward, and he goes, yeah, A.Ward. I go, he's from here? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, man. And I was a fan of Abnorm before I ever started battling. You know, before I ever battled, you know. I went, like I said, I watched him and Marty Notes, you know, like, and, you know, went down there and stuff. It's like, you know, I was tapped in because I was also tapped in that he used to, I guess, B-boy. And I don't know the term before. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I would go down there. A lot of the spoken word poetry events I was doing in, like, 2010 to 2013, a lot of crumpers were at, you know, and I would be over here just rapping bars, you know what I mean, like just doing stuff, and they would call me out,
do their thing,
yeah, they would call me, they'd be like, yo, Ward, come down to the Foundry, or yo, Ward, come down to this event, or whatever it is, and we just want you to rap some bars, you know, and a lot of what they do gave me a lot of confidence as an artist, you know, because they're already full of energy, crumpers, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I'm up there spitting punchlines. They're throwing hats and, you know, doing all this stuff. And make you feel like you're the greatest thing ever rapping, you know. But, like, that stuff is necessary, you know, for confidence and for different, you know, things like that. And that's helped translate. So I always shout out Abnorm because he's another guy who's so many talents. You know what I mean? Like it's ridiculous. He's definitely the best host. You know,
style.
He's the best host, man. Battle rap host there is. But yeah, so and yeah, you know, like whatever it is musically, style, all that good stuff, man. So shout out to him. I ride with him as.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like with him, you know, that's what I told him during the. He humbled me a little bit because I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you're my favorite battle rapper from the city, and he's like, oh yeah. And then he said A.Ward, and I'm like,
you know what's funny? He battled my brother Cannon. It's on YouTube, yeah.
What?
Yep. So yeah, when you guys get done with this,
oh yeah,
like
for sure, 100%.
Yeah, my brother Cannon he's one of those guys that he made better music than he battled. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, he made better music than he battled. He's still a good battler, but you could tell when he writes, he's like in music mode. You know what I mean? Some guys, it's super different worlds.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like some
I
guys
can
are just
imagine.
constantly 4/4 timing. This is how they write. Even when it's a cappella, they still write it to a beat. You know what I mean? And it's got to be delivered or something like that. And then other guys, like we just have the freedom, you know, of I got the ball and the string. You know, I can take a drink of water. I can say a couple lines. I can do here. I can bring it here. Come
Because
back
you're a
here.
poet leading them on this journey to
You know what I mean?
smack
So
'em in the
I
face,
say all
yeah.
that to say it's a dope battle. I rock with Abnorm heavy. Obviously my brother Cannon, but yeah, just go check that one out.
Who won?
Cannon, that's my brother, right? Like, what do you mean?
I love it.
Yeah, that's my. No, it was a good battle though. I remember it was a good battle. So.
All right, we're definitely
that's
watching that
great.
for sure. For sure. That's crazy, man. So, so you never battled Shadow or Mac Lethal.
Nope. Me and Mac talked about what we talked. I think he just said he was never coming back to battle rap. I think he just said it was just too.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to use the word advanced, and maybe it was just different. He's just like it's just different now, you know, because he popped back up in the grind time days, and I was watching him, you know, when he came back and battled Dirtbag Dan and whoever was, you know, and so you know, me and Mac we talk, you know, probably like once every 3 or 4 months, and you know he's very supportive of it, but he's never like jumped back into the era of what we do now. Shadow's a guy that he's an incredible freestyler, man, and the era of battle rap has gone away from freestyling. You know, do I think Shadow could probably put together like writtens and incorporate and succeed? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he wants to or not, but yeah, I've not battled those guys, but those are guys. I always crack up because Shadow, I met hooping. So I met him right over here, 87th, the outdoor court by City Hall, right? The green court, right?
Yeah.
So right after college, you know, funny enough, I'm working at Micro Center. Yo, hey, Micro Center, get your stuff together, man. Get your stuff together, man. Hire some competent people, you know. But yo, I'm working at Micro Center, and you know, I'm still got the itch to hoop, so I'm coming to the green courts over here, like off 87th, and hooping on my lunch breaks and everything. I think Shadow was working at like T-Mobile or Sprint at the same time or something like that. And the dude can jump out the freaking gym. Like I just see him turn around, just like I'm like, yo, who is this dude? You know what I mean? Like this is crazy, you know. So he's, you know, we're hooping or whatever. I think I remember at the time he was showing somebody on his phone that he was on the Tech Nine
album.
Yeah, it was like a collaboration or whatever.
Misery Love Comes Me.
Yeah, you know. And I'm like, oh, he raps too. That's fire. And then like after one game or whatever, I still just remember the line. Like, and I might misquote it, but I just remember like the punchline. He was like rapping to somebody, freestyling or whatever. He's like something like, "I'll do anything to find your paper." Something to him, kicking the slide in the crib like Seinfeld's neighbor or something like that. And when he was like that, I was like, oh, something, you know, like, you know, something Kramer, like Seinfeld's neighbor, whatever. And I was like, hey, yo, this dude kind of nice, you know? So, like, at the time, you know, I go over there and just chop it up with him, whatever. And at this time, I'm still telling people about my brother. I'm like, yo, my brother's a fire rapper. But I'm rapping, but I'm not, like, I'm not as confident in, like, my skill level.
So you're pimping out your brother? Like,
yeah, I'm like, yo, you
yeah.
got to check out my brother, man. Because my brother, I'm thinking he's one, you know, 1 or 2 songs away from blowing up. You know, this is, you know, 15 years ago, probably. More than that. This is almost maybe, you know, probably 16 years ago. And I'm just like, yo, you got to, you know. And yo, he was just real solid, real cool, you know. And then when I started getting into battle rap, you know, and we started doing Capital Punishment, I kind of reminded him. And it's so funny because I had to remind Dutch Newman about the time he beat me in a battle rap.
Well, hold on.
Yes.
Dutch beat you?
Yes, man. So, you know, I come out to Kansas City. I moved to Kansas City, you know. So, and shout out to this, right? Shout out to my guy, Dat Guy. I don't know, you know of Dat Guy,
yeah.
right? That's who he tells?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's what he's telling you. Okay. Shout out to Dat Guy. Dat Guy is the best battle rapper from Kansas City. All right. So, and we say that because Dat Guy always says, A.Ward is the best battle rapper in Kansas City, but technically I was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee, right? I moved here and I started my rap career in Kansas City. You know, I was 19 years old. That's when I started rapping, started putting out music, started performing and stuff like that. So anywhere I go, when they ask like, where you from? I'm like, Kansas City. Like that's just how I feel.
The origin,
you know?
Yeah, the origin story.
Am I a Tennessee Volunteer fan? Yes. Did I graduate high school? You know, but everything I've ever done as an artist is in Kansas City. So, boom. Fast forward to I'm in Bible college, hooping, playing ball. I ain't making, you know, I'm on a scholarship, but I'm not making too much money, anything like that. I'm with
not NIL.
I'm with one of my friends who also hoops, is like a youth pastor, and we're down there for First Fridays. First Fridays, you know, in the little art district.
Yeah, 100%. Crossroads, all that
We
shit.
walk in, there's a back alley, and there's just like this dudes rapping or whatever. I'm like, oh, what are they doing down here, you know? So we walk through the back alley or whatever, 2 microphones, people just freestyle battling against each other, right? This is like 2006, 7, 8, I don't know, something like that, you know? And my youth pastor is like, he's, you know, at this time, boy, you got bars, you need to be rapping, you know? Yeah, we see you write all the time. How come you not, you know? I was like, man, he's like, I'll buy you Chipotle for a month if you go battle that guy. You know how much that was worth to me in college?
I get free bowls
for the month. What?
I get it. Yeah.
I said, man, say less. So I look up Dutch. He's battling a girl, right? And he's cooking her or whatever. But I just hear his name. This is the first time I ever met him. I hear his name, whatever. So I'm like, so they're like, who's next? Who's next? I'm like, kind of raised, man. I got it. You know what I mean? Like, all right. I still to this day think my microphone was turned down. Or maybe I just wasn't as confident and couldn't project the way I can now. But I do remember, man, I had on my cargo shorts, you know what I mean? I'm sitting here, I'm freestyling, I'm trying to throw in some writtens at the same time, whatever. And then Dutch goes, and then he hit me with like an Opie Taylor bar, like maybe like an Old Navy line, a couple of just them ones, like them ones that just hit, right? And then, dog, I was like, at the end, it was like, he won or whatever. I get him back, the mic back. I didn't see Dutch for probably another, probably 4 or 5 years, something like that. And then when I started battling, he didn't know me because I didn't go say, yo, my name's A.Ward. I'm a this, that, and the
you
third.
didn't announce yourself, sure.
So he's a fan. I'm going to his show supporting him. He's like, whoa, are you fire? I was like, yo, let me tell you a story, Dutch. He's like, what? I was like, you know, you beat me in a battle. He's like, that's impossible. And I was like, nah, bro.
I'm Opie Taylor.
I'm like, back then, I was like, you know, you was probably rapping. It's probably like they was rapping on the block probably every weekend. You know, he's probably doing that stuff. Probably ran through so many
Hundreds
people,
of people,
you know?
right.
And so I was like, yeah. He's like, that's crazy. So yeah, man, it's definitely definitely dope, man. But I go off on tangents or anything. But yeah, so you know, shout out to Dat Guy because Dat Guy is the best battle rapper, you know, from Kansas City, technically. And I rock with Jay, him and my guy Fats. And then, you know, I get considered to be the best, you know, in Kansas City or that claims Kansas City, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I think that is another thing, like I said, to rewind with Abnorm episode. That's what he was saying. He's like, yeah, he's like, Jay, that guy. He's like, get him in here, whatever. He's like, but he gonna say he's the best in Kansas City, but A.Ward is. And I was
it's like divided up like states and the, I don't know, Mason.
I'm not listening.
Stuff.
I just always trying to show respect because, like I said, man, I really appreciate the Kansas City battle rap scene.
Facts. Right.
And I'm blessed to be on a high level, and I don't want it to ever look like, yo, he shot up there and like
never, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And Jay's doing a lot of great things too. Jay's doing, you know, he's done, you know, reality TV shows. He's battling around the world. You know, he's doing a lot of great things too. And so I know that, you know, even though it really doesn't matter, right? When I first started battling, I was like, yo, I could be the best battle rapper in Kansas City, and they're still going to charge me $10 to get into the club. You know what I mean? like it's not, you know, I'm not walking around like
I don't get Rockstar parking at all.
You know, like it's not like a QR code on my phone that gives me a discount when I go to the grocery store. Like it's just a something to say or put in your bio. You know,
it's like, God dang it, I know it. Remy Ma. Let me
I know. It's like,
let me know. You see these jeans?
Yeah, she bought me these jeans.
That's dope, man. That really is dope, though, man. And the cool thing about it is, too, regardless of how big you get, you know, like, you always like, hey, man, I'm level-headed at the end of the day. I do this for the culture. I do this for hip-hop. I love everything about it. And you're like, hey, I'm A.Ward. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. But I'm at the same time, I started my career, to an extent, Kansas City. And this is who I am, you know? You got Abnorm. You got Jay, the nice guy. All that people, man. Like, you're humble. Like, that's dope as hell. Like, because even when we reached out to the pod, I was like, come through.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and this dude's Instagram. If y'all see this dude's Instagram, this shit's crazy. Like,
listen, man, you sent the address. It was 5 minutes away. I was like, that's a podcast I can rock with. I would drive right over there and be back home quick.
Facts. But, like, he responded. He's like, hey, man, I'm on the way or whatever. I'm like, damn, I'm about to interview A.Ward. Like,
yeah, man. Nah, it's definitely a blessing, man, just to kind of even just get to kick it with you guys and hear y'all's story too. So
yeah, for sure, man. But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like so you said you're doing features, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would really, and I'm kind of throwing you an alley-oop at this, but I want you to do a song with this guy that was on our podcast. Mm-hmm. His name is the homie Blaze.
Okay.
Now, if I can somehow link this up and make it work, cool. He is a Christian rapper, but here's a little caveat to it. He's dropping his new album September 1st, and it's called "But I'm Not a Christian Rapper."
Okay.
So it's kind of like a
I've heard that.
He doesn't want to be put in the box.
Listen, I've heard that since I started. My first album I put out in 2007. You know, at the time, you know, Lecrae is big at the time. You know,
that's what you just said.
And you know, everybody is on this 116 click. Romans 1:16 is I'm unashamed of the gospel. You know what I mean? And so all the Christians is like, yo, I'm bold, I'm unashamed, I'm a Christian rapper. Say what you want. I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian rapper. There's never anything to me wrong with that. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
From an artist standpoint, do I understand not wanting to be boxed into just doing this? I do understand that.
Thanks.
I would never tell somebody, don't call me a Christian rapper. But I would also tell somebody, like, what's your idea of a Christian rapper? I promise you're not going to get that from me. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I'm not mad at all at him saying, like, but I'm not a Christian rapper. I just think it's very important in your music to make the context, because we are called to be bold. We are called for people to see a difference in us, to be peculiar, right? Like, you don't want to mix in so much with the industry that, like, we can't tell the difference, you know?
Right.
100%. And so a lot of times what we do is like, hey, people gonna think I'm corny. People gonna think I'm lame or whatever. People gonna think I'm only a Christian rapper because I couldn't make it in the big leagues. You know what I mean? And I would just say, be mindful of that, and whatever you do with your music, like let it be known why you say that. You know, like, do a podcast where you say something like this. Don't give off the impression of like, yeah, I just don't want to be grouped with those lame dudes. You know, because then you just be like, hey, listen, I'm a Christian rapper, and I promise you I'm not lame. You know what I mean? so yeah, I definitely
promise you I'm not lane or lame.
Yeah,
right.
I definitely know exactly how he feels and why he's saying it, and I definitely am all about being yourself and voicing that. But I just say, be careful, you know?
Facts.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he just did a record with Project Pat, and he brought Project Pat into the world of, like, you know, hey, no cussing, and, you know, the God and stuff like that. And I mean, it's a pretty dope record.
Super fire.
You know, and I'm like, dude, that's kind of crazy how you brought this dude, you know, Chicken Head and all this craziness that he was on, and you brought him into the world or whatever. So,
absolutely. Like, and if somebody like Project Pat has that much respect for you, you know, he could just been like, I'm Project Pat, I rap how I want to rap. So if you don't like it, I just want to be on a song. You know, whatever. But he obviously has a relationship, and you know what I mean? Like, that's super dope.
Right.
You know?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, even to bring you, not saying bring him into your world or whatever, but the collaboration would.
Yeah, I mean, if he can rap, I can rap, you know, so it's going to be dope.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely.
Like, all right. So there you go. Hey, Blaze,
Yep.
I'm linking you with A.Ward.
Yep, just holler at me, man. Yeah, I can record it here.
Yeah, literally.
Y'all 5 minutes away.
Right behind this door.
I'm going to pull up on y'all. I'm like, hey.
Say less. Hey, there you go. But, yeah, for sure. So, I mean, oh, man, I don't That's crazy. So, speak about what you got coming up.
Got you. So, you know, we just announced, you know, basically my biggest battle to date. You know, in the battle rap world, most everybody that watches battle rap or has ever watched battle rap, period, in however, you know, 30 years, whatever it's been, knows Smack. Smack is you know, that's battle rap. Like, his name is synonymous with battle rap. Smack has a league called URL TV. URL TV is basically considered the NBA of battle rap. You know, like, it's literally, it's the league. It's the big league. To almost anybody you meet that watches battle rap, you go to a barbershop, they haven't watched battle rap in 20 years. They're going to bring up Smack, Serious Jones, Murder Mook, Jen. So basically, they're bringing up Lotta, all these guys, right? So for my entire career, I've turned down URL. I've turned them down because they always wanted to sign me to an exclusivity contract where
non-compete.
I can only compete with them for multiple years.
Okay.
I've always been like, yo, my career's in my hands. Like, if that's what y'all want, I'm not signing anything.
Right.
You know
You're
what I mean?
An independent agent.
So for my whole career, like, in the last 5 years, I've finished in the top 10 in the world 3 times. So I finished, you know, at the end of the year rankings, I finished 5th, 9th, and 10th. 3 in the last 5 years, you know. I finished in the top 25 all the last 5 years, you know, in the world. Exactly. And so people always have the conversation is, he's the only guy in these rankings that hasn't been in the big leagues. Like, how is he doing this? How is he taking his career into his hands? How is he battling? I'll battle those guys on different platforms. Bring them to wherever. We can go battle here on this league or that league or whatever.
Right.
Get crazy. But I never signed the contract. So it's been a long time coming. They've been offering me battles for 9 years, a little over 9 years. Damn. And so finally, you know, we got to the point to where they weren't out asking for me to sign like a long-term deal. Loaded Lux is the headliner, you know, on Summer Madness in London, England. I get to battle T-Top, who was another, like, incredible battle rapper. He won UFF on 106th and Park. You know, like, he's such a notable name or whatever. And I got paid handsomely, and I'm like, okay, now we can talk. Like, that's what I've been asking for the last 9 years, is just give me a good opponent, the money I feel like I'm worth, and let's go battle. And so when that announcement got dropped 2 weeks ago, like, the whole battle rap world was just like, oh, it's finally happening. Like, oh my gosh, like,
this is Mayweather and Pacquiao,
like,
goddamn.
A.Ward is finally, you know, it would literally be the equivalent of like you guys watching Luka just play ball in Slovenia for 10 years and him just cooking like crazy and being like, and then one day, like, he just runs out the tunnel for the Lakers in the NBA and the world's just like, he's here, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh,
the pinnacle,
what's about that?
right?
You know,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's just kind of like
that's wild.
Yeah, and so like that's what is the next battle is September 21st, Summer Madness, which is their Super Bowl event every year. They do like Summer Madness is like the biggest event that URL throws every year, and it's in London, England. And yeah, I get to battle T-Top. So that's the next one, and man, that's the big one. He might not be the dopest opponent that I've battled because I've battled 120 times. But the stakes and the pressure of what it needs to be on that are huge right now. So
you're gonna be in the same building with Loaded Lux.
Yeah. Yep. So it's gonna be a good one.
Where are they hosting it in London?
It's at the Steel Yard. So I actually battled there before. I battled Sharon. Sharon's a guy that's on Wild 'N Out. He's been on Wild 'N Out probably 12 seasons. A Canadian dude. Super talented. Great freestyler. I battled him in 2018 or 19 in London in the same venue. So I have been to that venue before, and I have performed in front of, you know, I think we probably had about 800 in there when I battled Sharon. I think this one's going to be more like about 1,500 to 2,000 people. So it's going to be a lot more packed out, I think so. Damn. Yeah.
That's a lot of eyes.
That's a lot of eyes, man.
Yeah. So it's going to be the biggest. You know, I talked about when Remy booked me Vixen. That was probably 2000 at the Sony Music Hall in New York City. And then when I battled Ill Will, I battled him when Hitman Holla battled Cassidy. So Hitman and Cassidy battled. Oh, yeah. I battled the battle before that, like against Ill Will. And that was probably, that was one of those ones where we're in Atlanta. Cassidy brings out the celebrities. Hitman brings out the celebrities. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're just looking, and there's balconies. People just, you know, Yeah,
I mean, your location, bro. You're at the radio hall. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's Saturday Night Live, bro. Like, you're on the stage.
Yeah.
That's just, damn.
So fire.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why right now, like, this is the last podcast I'm gonna do for about 3 weeks because I gotta get back in the dungeon. and get the writing, man.
Hey, appreciate that for sure, man.
Yeah.
That's just alone with hearing what you just got going on coming up, man, is a blessing. Especially you're going across a pond.
Yep. So it'll be my it'll be like my 10th or 12th international battle. I guess if you count Canada as international. I mean, I battled in Toronto. Yeah, I battled in Toronto. But I mean, as far as like out of North America, I battled in London twice, and I battled in Australia once.
That's dope.
Yep. And so this will be my, I guess, 4th outside of North America. So.
And you're getting paid to do it. That's
absolutely, man.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. So
I love that, man. Keep on keeping on.
I appreciate it, man.
Keep on keeping on, man, for sure. I do want to ask you this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet the Freestyle King?
Oh man, I think it was when I went to Houston the first time. I want to say I went down there and I battled a guy named Jay Black, and I think I met him there. But I think I just shook hands. Oh, excuse me, I met him at South by Southwest. When I did South by Southwest in 2017, I met Flip. He was actually trying to put on a battle event. He was trying to put on a battle event that night. Disaster, who was a pretty world,
I know Disaster
was supposed to be battling, and I just was like down there performing, and I had the artist wristbands and stuff, which was cool. Get to go backstage, do all that good stuff, and so I pulled up to just help, like, because I had only been battling for maybe a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't super well known yet. I was good. Everybody knew me as kind of like one of the good up and comers. But I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go down there and watch it, see if I can help set up chairs or whatever. I'm that kind of guy. I'm dead serious. I go audio guy, sound guy. Hey, you need me help carry some stuff in? Like that's how I always am. And so I met Flip South by Southwest, and then I think I seen him again in like 2000, maybe like 20 something in Houston, and then he was out in it was either I think it was Pontiac, Michigan, when me and my buddy Loso did a 2-on-2 battle, and he was in the building. And, you know, he's the freestyle king, so I pay homage, you know? So, like, I freestyle every battle. So, you know, in the middle of the battle, you know, I shout him out, you know, do some, like, game over, you know, flips and stuff like that or whatever. No pun intended.
Homage,
Yeah. And he had his phone out. He's recording it. You know, he's sharing me on Instagram and stuff like that. And I really just go talk with him a little bit afterwards. Like, yo, we met a couple times. And ever since then, like, he just, once again, like, he appreciates the talent, you know? Like,
for sure, yeah.
You know, he knows, like, yo, I'm a Christian, you know, a rap. Like, even at Soul Sessions, he's freestyling. When he said, like, yo, shout out to A.Ward, he's like, he don't even cuss. Like, the next line he said,
he don't even cuss.
So he knows, like, that I have a message behind what I do, but he respects the talent and the work ethic of what I do at what the level is. He don't care about none of that, you know?
100%.
And so since that battle in Pontiac, like, I seen him a couple other times, seen him in Houston this year, earlier in April. And, like, he's always just been like, yo, if you need anything, like, let me know. So.
That's hard, man.
Yep.
Yeah, because even at that show, I was just like, damn. I'm like, I mean, even when he came through and did the episode and whatnot, he did as a freestyle. We'll show too when we get off here. But he's like, hey, shout out to A.Ward.
He's fire, bro. I'm telling you. He makes it look so easy, bro. And that's the thing is, like, I get in a freestyle. I can freestyle pretty well. I'm always trying to come up with the wittiest punchlines and stuff while I'm freestyling. And, like, that's cool and all, but Flip, like, he can literally just rap for hours. Smooth, chill, kick, boom, 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 like, everything.
We got an 8-minute.
Yes.
We got an 8-minute
And that's why I'm just like, yo, like, he is. He's that dude when it comes to freestyling.
Facts. Let's wrap it up a little bit.
Yep.
So, I want to ask you 2 more questions.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you your Mount Rushmore of battle rappers.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, that's good. It changes a lot. It's an active, right? So it's an active culture,
right?
And so, you know, as a fan, I had guys before I ever battled that I'm like, you know. Then I have guys that I've met that, you know, I'm like, I don't like you, so you're not on my Mount Rushmore anymore. Like, you're super talented, you deserve to be there, but I like this guy more than I do you. Like, we'll go out and get dinner, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's
right.
You know,
We
so
can hang out, but
it's hard to take.
Like
it's hard to take that kind of stuff. Then it's tough because Murder Mook and Loaded Lux to me are like this 1A and 1B of like battle rap of like, yo, if I can ever get to attain to battle, you know, those two guys, right? Like, and it's. Rushmore only has 4, right? You know, so it's like if you're gonna take Mook and Lux and put them up there, you gotta find out of like literally 20 other options for me. I have to whittle it down to 2. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Right. So here's what I'll say. Loaded Lux, who's one of my favorites of all time, he doesn't battle that often. Like once every like 4, 5, 6 years, maybe something like that. Like there are guys like Hitman Holla, like Arsenal, like T-Rex. There are guys that were that legend, right, that you watched and still actively are competing at a high level and battling overseas against the new guys, over the up-and-comers, smoking them, like continuing to, you know, keep the lights on of the house that some other people might have built. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they helped build too, you know what I mean? So what I would do is I'm going to take Mook and Lux, and I'm just going to put them to the side, right? Okay. And I'm going to say Arsenal, Hitman Holla, T-Rex, and my 4th is going to be Pat Stay. And if you're not familiar with Pat Stay, he actually was murdered a few years back or whatever. But he's, to me, like even before, I said this before, Pat Stay was somebody I didn't think I could ever beat. Like he was the best to me. He was so good. And I just think that like looking back on his career and how good he was and just what he was able to accomplish, like I just think that he belongs there. And so, I say Arsenal, T-Rex, Hitman Holla, and Pat Stay, like, are my 4 right now that I would just say that's my Mount Rushmore. And some people say, how the heck you don't got? And look, when I tell you this, there's 20 guys, man. There's 20 guys. There's guys currently that have come in the last 15 years alongside me, like a Geechee Gotti, like a Rum Nitty, that
JC
JC could say, I'd be on there. Sue Surf, Free to Wave, he should be, he said, I'm on there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Charlie Clips, he's probably one of the most, of all time people know him, Wild 'N Out Star, all that kind of stuff. I should be on there, whatever. There's no disrespect to any of them. And Disaster. Disaster might be the biggest global.
Yeah.
Disaster's battled in like 5 different languages. Like that's insane.
That's crazy.
Drake's really pinned
That's
to him.
crazy. Yeah, Iron Solomon, Jin, all these other guys have like
Jin, you're right.
have these
Blind Fury.
Yes, have these accolades that it's just like, yo, like I could make a case for it. You know what I mean? But for me, it's just like, yo, Arsenal, he literally will battle anybody anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like he never stayed comfortable. He wasn't like you had to come to Jersey. He has, to me, the best delivery in battle rap. You know what I mean? Like he's just been like a legend that has survived all eras of battle rap. The freestyle era, the beginning of YouTube era when you had the high multis, then the aggressive era, then the whatever. And it's like, yo, Hitman to me is the greatest performer of all time. Like he's built up, his delivery, his performance, his catalog of who he is, Wild 'N Out, like celebrity star. He's taken battle rap beyond the confines of battle rap.
I love it.
T-Rex is just T-Rex is to me like if you ask rappers, like if you go ask, maybe Royce da 5'9", or you go ask, Jada Kiss, or you go ask Lloyd Banks or something like that, they're gonna be like Rex. You know what I mean? Like that's like the rapper's guy, and he is like that. He's like he's just a warrior. And if you guys ever, I don't even remember Total Slaughter, he was in there like smoking people, like Eminem and them. They did the reality show where the battle rappers were in there, and then Joe Budden ended up battling Hollow da Don, which Hollow's another name I haven't even mentioned yet, who could be on there as well. But like T-Rex was in that house cooking all of them. You know what I mean? And so like, man, there's a lot of guys that could be there. And you ask me next month.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The next
it
podcast,
might change. It might
level.
change. But tonight we're showing love to Ars, Hitman, Rex, and R.I.P. Pat Stay, man.
I love that. R.I.P. for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, last thing but not least, who do you want to get on What They Want podcast?
Oh, who do I want to get on here?
And you got to throw us an assist. Remy Ma? No,
there you go.
Hey, he's wearing your jeans now.
Yeah. man, yo, there's like, so I ask you this, like, do you guys want to keep it specific to music, or rap or artistry? You know what I mean? Like, I know so many people in the city that I'm just like, yo, there's a dope author, a dope, designer, and different things like that, that I'm like, yo, there's be great conversations. But, outside of that, definitely my guy Reese is Maurice Elston. He just got a new book out called Don't Waste Your Pain. And then,
because I've been trying since I started the podcast to get Mac Lethal.
Yeah. Mac would be super fire.
Not even approachable, dude.
Look, I'm gonna throw Mac's business out there. No, my little brother works at Home Depot. He's like, y'all seen Mac Lethal again this week?
Yeah, exactly. Because he's building all them damn houses.
I was like, if I ever need to get a hold of Mac and he doesn't respond to a text, I'm just gonna show up in the paint aisle at Home Depot and wait till he pulls up on me. No, that's my dog.
Remodeling them damn Airbnbs. I'm like, yeah, to your DM.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, Max definitely a great name. There's a couple other people that I'm like, yo, these would be some. I try to think of something outside of the box. Yeah. Honestly, Jarvis and Chapo, the guys that started the Connects League, the Battle Rap League.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really dope.
Them, a guy named Malachi, he started Throne Room. Mm-hmm. Like there's hearing the what they built as far as like the platforms of battle rap in Kansas City would be dope. I don't know if y'all spoke with Marasha yet. She's like the queen of Kansas City battle rap. So before I came around, she had millions of views. She was the queen of Kansas City, outperforming in New York and stuff like that.
Would love to.
Yeah, and Marasha's a dope one. And then, I'm going to shout out my brother again. Once he's in town, like, I think y'all sit down.
Pull Cannon
if you love hip-hop, bro, my brother will sit here. Like, when I left the other night, and I sent him, he's like, oh, you don't know Tate? You don't know? My brother's like, yeah, I know them. Yeah. He's like, they run what's the name, Grip or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
My brother's like, I went to a grip show with Ritz in Knoxville, like, you know, months ago or whatever. He's like, yeah, that's my dog. I'm like, yo, my brother knows all of that.
I would
you know
love
what I mean?
sit down with
so
him,
yeah,
bro.
yo,
I would love to sit
so
down
Cannon and Cannon, man, he's tapped into all of that. So I'd love to see him just on here. Y'all just at least, you know, talking hip hop back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
I want
Yeah.
Cannon. I want you, bro.
Next time he's in town, man, we definitely pulling up. So
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, man. That's dope as hell. That makes me excited.
Yeah,
Bro. You
yeah.
got me excited to
Heck
interview
yeah,
your
man.
damn
Heck
brother.
yeah. He's a fool too. You gonna be like, that's your brother? You be like, oh, yeah.
Hey, man,
a lot of people always used to be like angel and demon. You know what I mean? Like I was the Christian and he's like the, you know, he's
the
hilarious.
yin with the yang,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, absolutely. But that's my dog, man.
I love it, man.
Look,
Shout
I
out
just
to
want to tell
Cannon,
y'all
bro.
again, man. Thank you guys for having me for real, man.
Of
Your
course,
platform,
man.
Thank you for supporting and sharing the videos and everything like that, man. And anything I could do for you guys in the future, like feel free to reach out.
We love it,
Absolutely.
man. Appreciate you again for coming through. You know, we're gonna wrap it up just like this, man. Make sure you guys all tap into A.Ward.
Yep. It's I am A.Ward everywhere. So pretty much I am A.Ward Instagram, you know, Twitter, you know, look it up. You know, I don't really be on Facebook like that, but TikTok, you know, like anything, YouTube is A.WARD. Like I said, there's 120 battles on there. Go in there, have fun, and then you might find me in your city doing poetry or just speaking engagements, whatever it may be, you know. So we be out here.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys don't know of them yet, you will know, sure.
Facts.
Facts.
Hey, God is good, man. Appreciate y'all.
There we go. Hey, I'm Snow, dannySLAB,
Yo.
A.Ward. Till next time.
I'ma give them what they want. She gon' give me what I want. I'ma give them what they want.